Hi, welcome back to our channel. Today I'm going to review the Ugee UE16. It's a 15.4-inch pen display. As of this recording, it cost $199 on their website. It's the cheapest I've seen of this spec, size, and category. But is it any good? So just a disclaimer, Ugee did send me this product review. But what I'm going to say in this video is entirely my own. If you don't know what a pen display is, it is like a monitor that you plug into your computer or laptop, and it becomes a second display in which you can use a pen to draw. My goal for this video is to help you or provide you with information so that you can decide whether this product is for you or not. And if you do decide to purchase this product, the link is in the description. And if you're gonna input a coupon code upon checkout, then you will receive a 10% discount. In this video, I'll discuss the overall screen performance, the resolution, the parallax effect, the paper feel of the screen, the color, the lag, the refresh rate, the portability, the shortcut keys, and the features. So the resolution of this is 1920 by 1080. And for a 15.4-inch monitor, that's already enough. But still, it's not 2K resolution or 4K resolution. And if you're used to a high PPI screen, like let's say your phone, you will notice that the Ugee UE16 is a bit pixelated compared to that. But I'm not bothered by it. And I would say that the screen looks good for its resolution. Next, let's talk about the parallax effect. So a pen display is actually two devices in one device. We have the monitor and we have the pen tablet. The pen tablet is what records the position of the pen or cursor, or what we call the input. And the monitor is what we see, the screen or the output. Because of the gap, if we're looking at the screen at an angle, the cursor is not directly below the pen. A laminated screen, which the Ugee UE16 has, combines the tablet and the screen into one piece, eliminating the gap. But there is still some thickness to the screen, thus there is still a bit of parallax, but only less. So various brands like Ugee uses software to calibrate the position of the cursor so that from your perspective, the user, it's directly below the pen. I would say that the Ugee UE16 has minimal parallax. It handles it very well. If you look at the screen from the side, you will see some sort of gap, but this is because we're looking at it from the side. But once calibrated, you won't notice it at all. But if you tilt the pen upwards like this, then the cursor position would be off. But if it's in this position, then there's no parallax. I do draw sometimes like this, and it does bother me a bit that there's parallax in this position. There is a bit of a lag when moving around. This is directly tied to the report rate of the device. So the higher the report rate is, the less lag you'll feel. But usually in this price category, like within $200 to $400 range, the report rate of the Ugee UE16 is already good. It's within the standard. Pen displays with higher report rate are usually cost higher. I do feel the lag when dragging the windows around or moving objects around. I feel like the cursor is being left behind, but when I draw, I don't feel the lag anymore. The screen has a 60 Hz refresh rate, so previewing your animations would look good on this device. It doesn't specifically say what the response time is, but I'd say it's pretty good. So the higher the response time is, the more blur that you'll see on fast movements. So when like previewing animations on this device, I don't perceive any blur. So I'd say that the response time of this is very good. So the ideal spec that you're looking for is having a low response time. So I'm not sure what the response time of this product is, but I assume it's low. So it's good. It's very good. So the color is where this product shines. The preset colors are already good and it's already quite accurate. But if you calibrate it using a color calibrator device, then it's going to be even better. Most pen displays I've seen doesn't quite get the color of my MacBook Pro. But this one, and although it's not 100% accurate, it's much closer than the others. And color accuracy is important when you're designing. So I have been using this product for about a month now, and I've noticed that there's like a white, bright pixel on the screen. It's not dirt, it's on the screen. You don't notice it when placed on a dark color, and it's most noticeable on white. It's only small and it doesn't bother me. I barely notice it when working. I just hope it doesn't get any bigger. Maybe this is a factory defect or maybe it's just an isolated case, but I thought I should mention this on this review too. This device is nice to draw at. It has a matte screen protector and it replicates the feeling like you're drawing on paper. The pen is thin. It's quite different than most pen display. It's also quite lighter than the others. The pen holder is here at the bottom, and I think this is a bad design. It's not really convenient putting the pen into the pen holder. It's equally painfully annoying to get it out. So I think it would have been better if this was like on top, or maybe just a pen holder would really make this device more convenient. The form factor is a bit big because of the buttons. It also has thicker sides. So if you're bringing it around, you might need a bigger backpack. I don't really like the design of the stand. It's good that it can compress like this. It's compact and it's easy to carry around. But it's not the best experience setting it up. Overall, this product is very portable. There are two ways to set it up. The first way is you have a 3-in-1 cable. You plug the USB-C to the pen display and plug the HDMI and USB to your laptop, and plug the other USB to a power brick. This is not the most portable option. You may need some adapters if you have a newer laptop and you don't have any older USB ports. But there's a second way, or what I would consider as the better way. But this only works if your laptop has Thunderbolt or is able to supply power via the USB-C port. If your laptop has that feature, then you only need the USB-C cable that comes along with the box. This makes your setup very portable. Next, let's talk about the shortcut keys. So it has 8 programmable keys and 1 dial. The button in the dial allows you to cycle through 4 different functions of that dial. For each key, you can assign a shortcut key. For example, you can set this button to B on your keyboard or brush. And let's say this button, you can set it to Control Z or undo. For the dial, you can assign up to 4 functions like scroll, zoom, brush size, or rotate. And you click this button to cycle through. So let's say if you're like currently on scroll, rotating the dial will scroll. And if you want to zoom, then you need to click the button again. Then the dial will now have the zoom functionality. So now if you're going to rotate the dial, it will now zoom. And you can assign shortcuts per program. Let's say Adobe Animate has different set of functions. And when you open After Effects, you could also set it to have the buttons to have different shortcuts. I do like the dial, but the way that it's being placed right now, sometimes I would accidentally roll on it when pressing the upper buttons. I also found a bug. It doesn't happen all the time, and in the duration of my testing, it's only for the spacebar shortcut. The spacebar is used for panning in Adobe Animate, and at times, even though I'm not pressing the button anymore, it's still panning, and I have to tap to disable. It only happens sometimes, not a deal breaker, but it is annoying when it happens. So most pen displays that I have used has only about like 6 buttons max, but this one has 8, so that's good. And it has a dial, and you have that button, so you could assign 4 functionalities to the dial. And the problem with most pen displays, the problem with the buttons with most pen displays is that it's never enough, right? You have a lot of shortcuts that you want to assign, and the shortcut keys are like only a few. So maybe you'd like to try them out, but eventually you'll go back to your keyboard, right? Because this is like the full, you have all of your shortcuts here in the keyboard, right? And the problem with having a keyboard, because like let's say I'm drawing here, right? No matter how much I memorize the shortcut keys, you'll eventually like commit mistake. So what happens is you're gonna draw on the pen display, and then at some point you'll have to look here in your keyboard, and that's not good, right? It's taking away from your focus. So in the 1 month that I have tested on this device, I could say that I could move away with the keyboard. I could now just use this device because this one has 8 physical buttons and it has floating keys. So you need to assign one of your physical button to open up the floating keys. So what happens is when you click it, there's going to be a pop-up, a list of buttons up to 16. And each of those buttons, you can assign a shortcut key. And you can press it via your pen. You can tap your screen to activate that shortcut. And if you don't need it anymore, then just click the physical button you've assigned it to, and it's going to hide the floating keys. So the only caveat, and this is a big one, is that you cannot assign multiple sets of floating keys for different applications or programs. So let's say you want the set of floating keys for Adobe Animate, and when you open After Effects, you want the set of floating keys. You can't do that. So the floating keys, they are global, meaning you only have like one set of floating keys for all of the programs, right? So if you want to change, like let's say you are animating in Adobe Animate right now, and then if you're going to animate using After Effects, you need to change the floating keys again. And if you're gonna go back to Adobe Animate, you have to change it again because there's no way to assign sets of floating keys to different programs. So currently, the way I see it, you would benefit the most of this like floating keys feature if you're the kind of artist or you're the kind of animator who only works on one program. Or even if you work on multiple programs, but you work on like one main program. So like majority of like the month, like let's say in 1 month, you open Adobe Animate 90% of the time. And let's say in a month, you only open Photoshop like 1 time. So this works for you. But if on your day-to-day basis, you work on Adobe Animate, you open Illustrator, you open Photoshop, this feature might not work for you. So what do I think about this product? Overall, I think this is a good pen display. It has a great paper feel, it has good colors, it handles parallax very well, video playback is also very good, and all of these for an affordable price. But there are a couple of misses that prevents this product from being a great product. It has a bigger form factor, there's a bit of delay, there are a few bugs on the shortcut keys. And while I love the concept of the floating keys, I think it's a genius idea. Um, the lack of ability to assign different sets of floating keys to different programs makes the floating keys unusable for me because I use different programs on a day-to-day basis. So overall, this is a good product and I would recommend this to people who are just starting out, or if you're like on a budget. I would say this is, get this one. It has a good value for money. So I hope I have given you enough information for you to decide whether this product is for you or not. And if you're going to buy this product, again, the link is in the description. And if you're gonna use this code upon checkout, you will receive a 10% discount. Thanks and see you in the next video.